Here to deliver this lecture on building technology and materials subject for SE civil class. Now, first and foremost, I want to give you some tips which will be useful in this subject while attempting the university papers. This subject is very important, and drawing figures is most important in this subject rather than writing long descriptions. So if you are good at freehand drawing, then during the last 10 minutes even you can draw some sketches without using even the ruler, and if you label them correctly, then you get the marks. Also, drawing with ruler and labeling them, it's okay. But during the last few minutes also, you can just cross that margin between pass and failure by drawing some figures. Then for the online test also, of course, you will study many MCQs. So whatever MCQs are available in the books, those will be there, uploaded by various campuses will be there. My suggestion is that while studying each topic, you also prepare for each subject. You prepare, everybody from the class, you prepare your own own questions with multiple choices, so that when you are reading any topic, you think on this topic what type of multiple choice question can be asked. If you collect from the class 5 questions each, then you will get a good data of MCQs which are, and those 5 questions should not be copied from the books available. Those should be entirely new MCQs. So that is about the tips about appearing for this subject in both the online and university exams. I am going to cover Unit 1, 2, and 3 in brief, and Unit 4 I am going to take in detail. So let us see what is Unit 1. Unit 1 is Introduction, Building Construction and Masonry. So buildings started right from the moment when cavemen existed and the nomadic humankind started living in caves. And then it has evolved into a huge industry which we see nowadays. So any building, generally residential building we are talking about, when we say building, immediately first thing comes to mind is residential building. But there are many kinds of buildings. There are institutional buildings, there are commercial buildings, there are malls, there are auditoria, there are nuclear plants. All these are buildings. And essentially a building will consist of 2 parts. The first one is substructure and the other one is superstructure. Substructure means the part of building which is not visible above the ground level, which is below the ground level. And superstructure is the part of the building which is above the ground level. In superstructure also, the basemost part is called plinth, and then the building starts. The plinth is for raising the building slightly higher. What does the substructure do? The substructure generally consists of foundations, and there are 2 types of foundations, shallow and deep foundation. Then why foundations are provided for buildings? Because if you imagine that you jab at a paper with a pin, then immediately it will pierce the paper. But if you take a chalk or a blunt thick rod and then jab the paper with it, it will not pierce the paper. So in the pin, the force is concentrated in the very small area. Whatever force you apply by your hand gets concentrated in very small area. and in a larger diameter instrument, it gets concentrated or it gets spread over larger area. Same thing happens with columns. When columns are like as they are, if they are put on the ground, the force coming on them will be transmitted over a very small area, and the columns can pierce easily the ground. But if you increase the base of the column and provide a pedestal for it, then the same force coming over the column is spread on a larger area. So force multiplied by area, that is the pressure intensity or the intensity of the force, it decreases, and therefore foundations are needed. There are many types of foundations, shallow foundations and deep foundations. Then in load bearing structure, the walls themselves act as structural members, whereas in frame structure, the concrete frame is different, and walls are only acting as partition walls, and they don't take any load. Now, what is masonry? Masonry means the building of walls is called masonry, and there are different types of masonries. Stone masonry. In Pune, you see very old building, Cork building, COEP building. These are built in stone masonry. Nowadays, it is very rare to build buildings in stone masonry. Then brick masonry you see everywhere, and hollow and solid blocks are also now in very much use. Then this masonry requires bonds. Bonds means the different arrangements of the masonry units. It may be bricks, it may be blocks. So these bonds arrange the bricks so that the mortar joints means while laying the bricks or blocks or stones over one another, we provide cement and sand mixture, that is called mortar. And the mortar joints, if all the vertical joints come one above the other, then it will form a weak plane and the wall may fail in that. So to avoid the vertical alignment of mortar joints, what we do is we specify different arrangements for bricks and stones, and those arrangements are called bonds. Then damp proof course is needed for avoiding the groundwater to seep into your house. And pointing means when you have mortar joints, the rainwater should not enter the mortar joints. Therefore, if it is stone masonry, then the mortar joints are made like a groove, and so that the water does not fall into that, but by gravity it goes away from joints. Plastering means coating the external and internal wall with cement and sand mixture. So that is in short about Unit 1. Unit 2 is block masonry and formwork, RCC slabs, beams and columns, casting and curing, and slip formwork. So block masonry we have seen, hollow block masonry is there, reinforced hollow block masonry has also come into use. Then for all roofing work and all slabs, formwork is required. Formwork means it is the empty tray-like thing or a column-like thing made up of wooden members into which you pour the concrete, and into which you first place the reinforcement and then pour the concrete, and after the concrete sets, then you remove the formwork and it becomes RCC. So it is required for RCC beams and columns. Then this is a process of pouring the concrete. It's called casting. After casting, the formwork is removed, and then the concrete has to be kept wet or moist for about 28 days. Nowadays, some fast curing concretes cements are available, so the period of curing can be reduced also. During curing, hydration reaction takes place, and from this hydration reaction only the cement gains the strength. Therefore, curing is very important. If curing is not done properly, then the concrete will be weak. What is slip formwork? Slip formwork is a modern concept which has come into existence after the building of multi-story buildings, very high towers where repetitive type of formwork is required. So what is done is a same formwork is made in aluminium and attached to lifts, attached to bars from where it can be lifted up. And as one by one the stories are completed, the same formwork is slipped up, and again the concrete is poured. And when that concrete is set, then the same formwork is pulled up by cranes and chains, and again in the empty formwork, again the concrete is poured. So that type of formwork is called slip formwork. It is for used for structures where the structure one floor is very similar to the other floor, or also it is used for chimneys and cooling towers and similar type of structures where the structure is same throughout its height, and you can cast it in similar pieces. Unit 3 consists of flooring and roofing materials. There are various types of floors. Floors are the surface on which we live, and timber floors are there. Timber floors are quite costly and they are very high maintenance floors. Then why these are used, the question comes. The answer is that in cold climate, timber floors conserve the heat, and timber floors do not get cold to the touch. And whatever heating arrangement you do for the house, in cold climates when there is ice outside, snow outside, then the heating bill is reduced if you have timber floors. Then cement floors are there. These cement floors used to be there in villages, which was called Koba flooring, and where cement is very fine, mixed with very fine sand, and that slurry is poured on the concrete, and then it is made very smooth by repeated polishing. Then mosaic tiles, everybody has seen. There are terrazzo size tiles, which are tiles which have come into vogue nowadays. Then there are rubber floorings. Now, where these rubber floorings are used? These are used in garages, then laboratories and gymnasiums. The rubber floorings are very attractive and multicolored, and these can be made slip proof. That means you cannot fall down on these because they are made with a particular design which gives you a grip on the floor, gives your feet a grip on the floor even if you are not wearing any footwear. So these are used in that type of thing. Then cork flooring is there. This is very popular in Spain because in Spain cork ash trees are in abundance. Therefore cork flooring is used. And cork flooring is also multicolored, and it has the best property for sound absorption. So auditorium and recording studios generally go for cork flooring. Then filler joist flooring is there, jack arch flooring is there, hollow block and rib flooring is there. So all these types of floorings, from filler joist, jack arch and hollow block and rib, these are generally used for floors where I-beams, big I-girders are used, and in between these floorings are provided. So you please see the figures in the books. I'm not going to show all figures because as I have told you earlier, only looking at the figures is of no use. What you should do is you should draw the figures yourselves, and you should be able to label the parts without looking into the book. Then only it is very useful. Then we come to roofing materials. Galvanized iron sheets. Galvanized iron means iron coated with lead and zinc. And GI sheets are used, iron sheets are used, And the property is that if the scratch is there, the scratch on galvanized iron is self-healing. Then fiber sheets are also there, which you see in many awnings. Wherever there is a snack center, they make a sit-out arrangement with fiber sheet awning. Awning means a sloping shade under which they put the tables and chairs. Then Mangalore tiles. Mangalore tiles are actually one Indian product, and it went all over the world through the British, because British were using very drab and colorless slate roofing in England. When they came to India, they saw in Mangalore very colorful red tiles, and they observed the placing of the tiles, and they were amazed that the sloping roofs were in Mangalore, where there is very heavy rainfall, they are without leakage, and no water leaks inside, and simply without mortar or without anything, the tiles are put one over the other, and due to self-weight only, the tiles can stay in place even in high wind, and they can resist the leakage of the water. So they studied the Mangalore tiles, and shiploads of Mangalore tiles were exported to England, and then after that, the England castles, British castles, got the red topped look. Otherwise, in Europe, everywhere the castles had a grey topped look. Then concrete slab can also be there. Kavri roof is used in Rajasthan. There is a kavri means kavdi, which we call in Marathi, and pieces of kavdi are stuck into concrete, and these provide a very shiny surface which reflects back all the heat, so that the heat inside the room is very negligible. Then there are solar panel roofs, therefore it is used in Rajasthan. Kavdi roofs are used in Rajasthan, where the heat is very high, and the local material is used in this fashion. Solar panel roofs is a modern invention. The roof itself acts as a solar panel and generates electricity and charges batteries and provides electricity for inside the house. Roof construction. Then for construction of the roof, there are two types. First of all, pitch roof and flat roof. These are the most common types. Wherever there is very heavy rainfall, pitch roofs are used, otherwise flat roofs are used. Shells, factory roofs with knot truss, etc. These are specialized roofs. Shells are roofs which are used where you require large space without intervening columns and walls. Then factory roofs with north light truss, because throughout the year the natural light comes from the north direction. Therefore, the trusses are made such that the north part of the roof truss is vertical, and it is completely made up of glass, so that the factory gets maximum natural lighting. Then we come to the real unit 4, which I will deal in some detail. So unit 4 is doors, windows, arches, and lintels. So first let us see doors. Now definition of a door is it is an opening in the wall with or without a shutter to close it. According to this definition, in local language there are ambiguities. We call it dar, darwaja, but in English language there is a distinction between the door and the shutter of the door. We say that close the door of that window, that means khidki laun gya. So that type of English is not correct. We should say close the shutter of that window. So shutter means the moving part of the door, and door means the opening. These are the technical terms about a door. The door consists of a frame, as I have told you. the frame has two vertical members and one horizontal member. The two vertical members are called posts. You see, this is one post and this is the other post. And the horizontal member on top is called head. Previously, we used to have a horizontal member at the bottom also. And with Vastu Shastra, again the fashion is coming in of having a horizontal member at bottom also. And that is called the sill of the door. In Marathi, it is called umbra, umbertha. And in Vastu Shastra, it is nowadays in modern houses also. You find sills made up of costly granite stone. Then this is the shutter. This is the frame, and inside the frame, this is the shutter. And this is a paneled shutter. According to shutter, the door also can be classified into various types. This is a paneled and railed shutter. This rail is called top rail. These vertical members of the shutter, this one and this one, are called the stiles, S-T-Y-L-E or S-T-I-L-E. Both spellings are correct. Then these are the meeting stiles. That means the stiles which are not, these are hinged stile, and these are meeting stiles. And between the stiles, the horizontal members are called rails. This is top rail. This is called freeze rail. And this is called lock rail. And this is the bottom rail. Usually on the lock rail, you provide the bolt and the locking arrangement. These projections of the head go inside the wall. When you are fixing the door into the opening, these projections go inside the wall. And these projections of the post, which are shown by dotted line, go inside the floor. These are called horns. Both the projections are called horns. So these are the technical terms for a panel door. Then see, this is the door frame, head, rebate. What is rebate? In the frame, there is a groove made for the shutter to fit. If you take the cross section of the post, it will not be exactly square. It will have a corner cut off. And in that cut off corner, the shutter will fit. So rebate is a recess or a deeper part into which the shutter of the door will fit. Then these are hold fast, iron hold fast. These are Z shape. One limb of the Z is fixed by screws into the wooden post, and the other limb of the Z will go inside the masonry, inside the wall, so that the door is firmly fixed within the wall. Now types of door. Panel door we have just seen. Batten door. Batten door means it is a rough type of door which has battens as vertical members, and the battens are tongue and groove jointed together. Flush doors are very smooth veneer or sunmica coated doors. Collapsible doors you must have seen, where there is iron strips joined with hinges and which slide on a rail, top rail and bottom rail, and iron strips come together closer. They are joined by hinges, by cross iron strips, and when they come closer, the door is opened. When they are far away, the door is closed. It is used for security purposes and for shop doors, etc. Rolling shutter is also like collapsible door. It is for the entrance of the shops and buildings' main entrances, and it can be pulled down or it can be pushed up. And up there is a motorized winder for the shutter, and it winds up the shutter when you open the door. Or the winder may not be motorized. You have to insert a handle inside one recess by the door, inside one opening by the door. You insert a handle and turn the handle. so that the shutter is raised slowly. So that is rolling shutter. Then revolving door. Revolving door admits one person at a time, ideally, and you must have seen this door in the close-up ad on the TV. There is one advertisement of close-up toothpaste in which they have shown one glass revolving door. Glazed door means the door in which glass is fixed. Plastic doors are used for, these are very colorful and lightweight doors, generally used for temporary structures or toilets or bus shelters, etc. Then louvered doors, some doors have part of their height with inclined slanting strips which can admit air, but they block the view. So privacy is protected, at the same time ensuring ventilation. Then swing doors. Swing doors means if you see the boss's office, there is always a swing door. And partial swing doors are there, two-leaf swing doors are there, single swing doors are there. These are generally used for office cabins. You just push the door and you go in and the door automatically closes. Then sliding doors are also have become popular because they save space. Where there is a scarcity of space, the door completely opening inside the room occupies that area of the room. So when such a place is not available, when the room is very small, you can have sliding doors which can just which you can just slide and they go parallel to the wall. Then folding doors. In old type of kirana shops, you must have seen plank by plank, the door is opening, and plank by plank, the door is closing. These are folding doors. Now in modern days also, the folding door has made a comeback, but not in the old form, but in the form of a very posh looking glass door, and which leads onto the terrace of a luxury building. And you can fold the 3-4 panels together so that they go into one corner. And then soundproof doors are there, and these are made up of frames which give you as absolutely sound insulation. And there is some brand, I forget the name now, but the tagline is that noise is to be seen, not heard. And that type of soundproof doors and windows are available nowadays. These are various type of panel door shutters. The first one is one single panel door. The second one is with two panels. The third one is 3 panels. These are called styles, but this middle intermediate style of the same panel is called the mullion. And this is 4 panel, 5 panel with a different arrangement of panels, and this is the 6 panel door. This will be the lock rail of this door. This will be the lock rail. This will be the freeze rail. This will be the top rail, and this will be the bottom rail. And these two will be the styles. Since this is single leaf door, so that difference is also there. Single leaf door and double leaf door. Double leaf door means the door opening is closed by 2 shutters. Instead of 1 shutter, 2 shutters are used. And why this is done? Again, to save space, because the 2 shutters are small. So when they open, they don't cause much disturbance in the space inside the room. Now these are the details of panel doors. These are the panels, sections. What is shown here is a lintel. See, this is the door opening, and above the opening there is this symbol. If you have seen, this is brick masonry symbol. This is RCC symbol, and the brick masonry above the opening, if you provide cut a hole in the wall, the bricks above the hole will have no support. Therefore, they must be given some support. If you just put a plank and place the bricks and let the mortar harden and then remove the plank, again they have limited support of the mortar joints. So to give the support to the bricks above the opening, something must be done. That's why this lintel is built. And the lintel, when we come to the lintels and arches, I will show in detail. But all these figures you must draw for yourself and you must be able to label them. Because when the question is asked about panel door, the figure will get more marks rather than your description written below. If you label and name, draw and label it correctly. Now we come to windows. So these are some technical terms. This is the outside of the house and this is the inside of the house. And this is the window opening. And I have taken a section through the wall which is showing half the window only. And this is the concrete. So this is lintel. This is the brick masonry wall. And this is the window frame, wooden window frame I have shown. And inside this frame, the shutter will be fixed by hinges. This part of window is called sill. The door used to have a sill. Nowadays, doors don't have sill. But the windows have a sill because the only brick masonry is not good to fix the frame upon. And also from the outside, when the rainwater comes, it should not leak into the wall through the brick masonry. Therefore, this RCC sill is provided. And this vertical portion is divided by the frame, and the vertical portion of the wall, which is outside the frame, is called reveal, and which is inside the frame is called jamb. And as the bottom of the opening surface is called sill, the top surface of the opening, that is the downward surface of the opening, is called soffit. So these are the terms: soffit, jamb, reveal, sill, lintel, and the window frame. So these are the technical terms of the window. Again, it is quite like door. You see head here, transom. Transom is an opening provided for ventilation above the door. And these are the panels, these are the rails, and this one is called shutter. This is double leaf door. We had seen single leaf door. Here you see two shutters. So this is double leaf door. The types of windows: paneled window we have already seen. Fixed window. What is fixed window? Fixed window is a glass pane fixed into the opening, and it has only one purpose of providing light. It is not used for ventilation. It does not open. It is fixed and it just gives light inside the place where it is fixed. Where it is used in stores where goods are stored and you don't want moisture and rainwater to come in, but you want natural light to be available. There the fixed windows are provided. Casement windows are similar to two-paneled windows, but one of the panels, or mostly the central panel is fixed and the left and right panels are openable. Then double hung window is very old British houses have this type of windows. The windows have, even now in England, they have this type of hung windows where the panel does not open out, but it goes up and down. When you want to open it, the panel is lifted up, and when you want to close it, the panel is let down. So if this is done by a central thread passing over a pulley, then it is single hung. If it is done by two chains or two threads passing over a pulley, then it is called double hung. Then nowadays you don't see many of these windows, but you see everywhere, almost everywhere you see sliding windows. Sliding windows have become very popular because of their utility, and they are quite dust proof. They seal off dust, they seal off noise, they seal off water, and they can be fitted with mosquito proof nets, and it is very easy to open and close this. These are mostly made up of aluminum and powder coated, or given some fancy finishes, and these are very popular nowadays. Pivoted windows means these have a pivot or a turning axis. When the turning axis is horizontal, these are horizontally pivoted windows. When the turning axis is vertical, these are vertical pivoted windows. These are used in some special cases where you want ventilation, and these are old type of windows. Nowadays not much used, but in high buildings where the ceiling used to be high, there the pivoted windows were used, and those could be opened and closed with a thread. Then louvered windows. These we also see very much. There are two types. One is fixed louvered windows, and the other is movable louvered windows. These louvered windows are again like louvered door. I told you, there are slanting pieces of glass in case of windows, and this glass is frosted glass. That means it is not transparent. It is white glass, and this they allow the air to come and go through them, but they provide privacy. Then metal windows. Metallic windows means steel windows. Before the sliding windows, we used to have, even now in old flats, we have steel windows which can be opened out, and the steel windows are typically made up of Z section of steel. And sash or glazed windows, these are the old type of windows with wooden shutters fitted with glass, and the wooden bars are called sash bars, which are T-shaped in the cross section, and on the each side of T, one glass pane is fixed. Then bay windows. For a room, these types are according to the positioning of the windows. This bay window means if a room has ventilation, one wants ventilation light from the sides, from in the wall of which there is no provision of window, then the room is extended into a bay and the provision is made in those directions. Then corner window is also for cross ventilation purpose, and it is built into the corner of a building. Dormer window is built into a pitched roof. The area below the pitched roof is called attic, and typically in British houses, in the attic, they provide a mezzanine type of floor and sleeping arrangement there. And to sleep means, dormir means to sleep in French. Therefore, this name has come, dormer windows. And these are provided in the pitched roof in the form of a small extension, and the dormer window gives the light to the room which is in the attic. Then gable windows, you have seen hipped pitch roof and gable pitch roof. Gable is the a wall is built in triangular shape on which the roof is fixed, and this triangular shape of the wall is called gable. And in the gable, what a window is provided is called gable window. In your childhood, you used to draw a typical line drawing of home. Two walls, one triangular roof, and below the roof, one round window. That type of window is actually a gable window. It is round in many cases. Skylight. Skylight is the special type of window which is raised above a sloping roof, and its main function is to give light, and still while giving light, it should not allow the rainwater to trickle inside the roof. These are skylights are there in the areas where there is very high rainfall. Then circular windows. These are also called porthole windows, and it is just as I told you, gable windows are mostly circular. Then nowadays we have mosquito-proof windows, which are made up of Netlon. There is Netlon system which you can buy by square foot, and they on the basis of square foot they come to your house and measure the windows and make everything mosquito-proof. And the most modern and last one is the curtain wall window. You have seen huge buildings where you see greenish or bluish large expanse of glass. That type of window is called curtain wall window. When light is required inside and not much protection is required, then curtain wall windows are made. These are made up of special glass, and these are colored by lead or any other minerals, and those minerals give certain colors to the curtain wall windows. These curtain wall windows are very strong, and even bulletproof curtain wall windows are manufactured. I had told you about bay window. See, if this room does not have in this direction one wall will go, in this direction one wall will go. If there is no chance of making provision of windows in these walls, then the room is extended outside, and this direction from which air comes is provided with windows. So these are the bay windows. Then this is the corner window. In the corner of the building, especially useful for cross ventilation. In humid and hot areas, these types of windows are common. Ventilators. Ventilators are very small windows, which are provided at a very, means they are high. They are used generally for only ventilation. And fan light. Fan light is the arrangement of glass over a door, and in church you see very interesting fan lights with the events in Bible depicted in pictured glasses. Pictured glasses. Many churches are famous for their fan lights. Then window grills. After window, to protect the window, you can have grills nowadays. So mild steel grills are there, and box type grills are becoming common because they provide for keeping of potted plants there inside the grill. Then welded wire mesh grills, plastic grills, Netlon. This Netlon system is nothing but plastic grill, aluminum grills. These are the various grills which are provided above the windows. Protective treatment for doors and windows. Holdfast, we have seen they protect the windows from getting displaced from their fixed places. Lugs were used. Nowadays, lugs are not used. Lugs are exactly same as holdfast, but they are not made of iron. They are made up of wooden members. Then oil paint is applied on windows if they are timber windows. French polish, wood guard, varnish, anti-termite treatment, all these are for wooden or timber windows. For aluminum windows, powder coating is there. Then rust-proof measures are taken. And now we come to the fixtures and fastenings. Various types of hinges are used for hanging the shutters of the doors and windows. The most common type of hinge is butt hinge. Then back flap hinge. Back flap hinge turns the door through 180 degrees. That means the door can rotate completely and become flush with the wall. Then garnet type of hinge, Narmadi, parliamentary hinge, strap hinge, rising butt hinge. This is a peculiar type of hinge. You see the figures, you draw the figures yourselves and label them. This rising butt hinge is it turns, instead of on a simple iron rod, the hinge turns on a helical screw. And when the door is opened, it turns on the helical screw, so the door gets slightly lifted up, about 1 or 2 mm, or say about say 3-4 millimeters from the ground. It gets lifted up. The shutter of the door, when you open it, it gets lifted up. Why this is provided? This is provided for complete door carpeting. Where the carpeting is there, the carpeting should not be torn by the turning door. Therefore, the door rises. Then pin hinges are there. For securing the doors, we have various types of bolts. L-drop is the most common, which we see the typical horizontal kadi koyanda ज्याला मराठीत म्हणतात. That type of thing, kadi koyanda, is called L-drop. Barrel type of bolt is a tube, metal tube, inside which the bolt goes. Then flush type of bolts are the latches, which we see on most of the doors nowadays. Latches are there, and in addition to latches, we have barrel type of these L-drops. On L-drops, we attach heavy locks. Then we close the MS grill, mild steel protective grill, and again lock it and put a lock, another padlock on it. So that is because of the troubled times and so many theft taking place. Then half-spent staple type of bolts are there. Latches are there. Hook and eye. Hook and eye are there for windows, steel windows and wooden windows. When you leave the window open, due to the shutter of the window open, due to air, the shutter may bang again and again repeatedly. To prevent that, a hook and eye arrangement is done, and there is a hole which is called eye, and there is a member which is called hook. That hook is stuck into the eye so that it prevents the movement of the shutter due to wind. Then handles are there, locks are there, magnetic fixers are there for doors. When the door is opened, the door should not bang against the wall due to air currents or wind. Therefore, the magnetic fixers hold the door open. Chains are there. Chains means you must have seen stainless steel chain, and you put it in, and there is a string strap, and you slide it, and then the door is doubly fixed, and you can open just one small gap in the door and see who is outside, and then you can open the entire door if you feel secure. Then security grills means what I told you, MS grills. After the door, again we put one iron door, and that is the security grill. Then we come to lintel and arches. What is the purpose of lintels and arches? Both lintels and arches support the masonry which comes above the opening in a wall. The masonry above the opening in the wall has no support. Therefore, it must be supported by some arrangement. So lintels are that kind of arrangement. You build the wall, say, suppose this is the opening. So you build the wall up to the top of the opening, and then you build a beam. And on that beam, you rest the rest of the brickwork. And this beam is supported by the two vertical sides of the windows. This small beam is supported, which ends there. It does not continue. And above this beam, you lay down the remaining courses above the opening. These are the types of lintels: timber lintels, stone lintels, brick lintels, steel lintels, RCC lintels, and lintel ring or lintel cores. Nowadays, what happens is that in the house at a particular window top level, they build entire wall with a lintel course. That means lintel thickness is mostly 15 centimeter. For 15 centimeter throughout the wall, they provide cement concrete. And that helps in after alterations. if you want to alter the house afterwards, if you want to cut a hole in a wall afterwards and provide a new window, then if lintel course is provided in the house, anywhere in the wall at lintel level, window top level, there is a support. So that is the latest trend, providing a lintel ring or lintel course. Then what is an arch? Before lintels were invented, arches were used. This is very amazing actually, because arches are modern, more technical things, and arches means they support the masonry over the opening by an action called arch action. Here the heavy stone arch is shown, and if this is the end support, then this particular stone is called the skew back, and this stone is cut in a diagonal fashion. Now what happens if you fix some blocks vertically? Then they will drop down. But if you prepare a block which is tapering at the bottom and broader at the end, top, like this keystone, what happens is the self weight of the block and the surrounding blocks are also slightly tapering and go on tapering like that, like the one shown in the slide. Then what happens is this self weight of the middle stone pushes the side stones, and there is a support like reaction goes on gathering inside the stones. So this keystone pushes the left stone towards left and right stone towards right due to its self weight. And the same thing happens. This stone also gets pushed, this stone also gets pushed, and ultimately between these two skew backs, all the stones get packed so that there is a pressure, and that pressure holds the arch together. So this is known as the arching action. Many times these technical terms are asked in the exam along with a sketch, show the elements of an arch. So this is the center of the arch where the skew back lines meet. This is the keystone. This is the rise of the arch. This is extra dos. Actually, the pronunciation is extra do. DOS do means shoulder. So this is the outer shoulder of the arch, and this is the inner shoulder of the arch. And these stones, intermediate stones, are called voussoirs. Then this stone, which is exactly in touch with the skew back, is called the springer stone. And these are the springings of the arch. This portion of the arch between the horizontal line joining the opening and the horizontal line tangent to the top of the arch called haunch. And this triangular portion is called spandrel between the two arches. And this is the pier. Pier means it is a column. And this is the abutment. Abutment means it is the last end. So this is the types of arches. Brick arches. There are two types of brick arches: rough bricks and axed bricks. Stone arches are rubble stones or ashlar stones. Rubble stones are rough stones which are not dressed, and ashlar stones are dressed with a chisel. Then flat arches are there, where the arch is like a lintel, but the stones are slanting. The top middle stone is slanting on both sides, and the stones on this side go on slanting to that side, and this side go on slanting to the other side, so that whatever I have told you about the pressure developing due to self weight of the central stone, a sideways pressure goes on developing, and it packs all the stones together. Semicircular arches are there, relieving arches. These are in addition to lintel. A relieving arch is constructed over the masonry so that the load on the lintel is lessened. Then gauged arches are there. Then we come to some multiple choice questions. So positioning of a door should be in the center of the wall, in the north direction, in front of window, in the corner of a wall. And the right answer is in the corner of a wall, because if it is in the middle, it will affect the circulation. It will waste a lot of space in the room. The middle rail of a panel door is called lock rail, top rail, freeze rail, inter rail. So you know very well it is lock rail. Freeze rail is for locking the door in a refrigerator door for decorative purpose in cold climate. And the right answer is for decorative purpose. Usually nameplate of the in old panel doors. Nowadays we don't have in panel doors, we have different decorative doors, but in old panel doors, nameplate of a person was put on the freeze rail. Vertical member of door panel is called columnar strip, side strip, vertical rail, and stile. Then the right answer is stile. Batten doors are used for entrance doors, high-rise buildings, garages and barns, five-star hotels. And the right answer is garages and barns. These are very rough type of doors, batten doors, batten, braced and ledged batten and braced doors, framed ledged batten, and many types are there. Purpose of louvered windows is ventilation, privacy, both of above, none of above. And the correct answer is both of above. Most commonly windows used now are wooden, steel, sliding, and dormer. And the correct answer is sliding. Aluminium sliding windows. Almost everywhere, 90% of buildings nowadays you will find aluminium sliding windows. Swing door windows are used for swing doors. It should be, I think. Swing doors should be used. You please get it corrected there. Swing doors are used for operation theater, office cabins, auditorium, upper floors. And the correct answer is, here I have corrected, but there I forgot to correct it. Swing doors are used for office cabins. Lintels and arches are provided above any opening in wall, below windows, in basement for ventilation. And the correct answer is above any opening in wall. The top stone of an arch is called locking stone, keystone, spandrel, or header. And the correct answer is keystone. So that is the end. And now video. Please look at this modern trends, where the modern trend of construction is taking them in Australia. About that, one 8-minute video is there. And let us see if we can transmit it.